Let me go ahead and say I apologize to everybody who is casual fan out there that I said this is a great League Pass team, because that was an abomination of a game.
I apologize to no one.
Yeah.
To no one. Well, I think, and we can break down the game if you want, or we can kind of have...
We don't have to talk about it in that sense. I think Joe Simons had a great question last night in the post-game show with me. And he goes, is this game an aberration? And not just this game in general, but an aberration because they don't have Blake Wesley and Matisse Thybulle. Because that is an insane question, but it is so good because...
Well, the Thybulle part makes sense.
Blake too.
My championship dreams are shot because I don't have Blake Wesley and Matisse
season, nobody would have said...
Yes.
Exactly.
100%.
Thybulle, yes.
But here's
Blake
the thing.
Wesley, no.
Those two guys have been like talismans to them.
Sure.
Every great team has these guys. They do.
Totally.
Where they can be...
Caruso was the guy for the Thunder last year. Like, we kept watching him.
The Heat had like
sixth best player on that team.
The Heat had Udonis Haslem for years.
Totally.
Like, it can manifest in very different ways. The pulse of your team isn't always your best player.
Right. Like it shouldn't be. You won't go very far.
Because that guy's already having to carry the burden of being the best player.
Right.
Like that's part of it. And those two guys, when they came in the game, they played like absolute psychopaths. And when Blake went down before he got hurt, I think he played just under 10 minutes. He had 3 steals and like 2 deflections, and the work rate he was playing at was contagious. You didn't see that last night.
No, and I know that this metric is kind of a wishy-washy metric in plus minus. Only one Blazer last night was a plus. Do you know who that was?
It was Caleb, wasn't it?
It was Caleb Love, who got called out by his coach at the end of the game. Look, I don't take much stock into this game, mostly because it always opens up the larger conversation to me about the NBA. Like, this is the problem with the league. It's like you're telling me that Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves aren't playing. This isn't a Blazer thing. This is a league-wide problem. That Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves are not playing and they win, like that does not compute to me. Because I'll tell you what, if I'm watching the Dodgers and they're playing the Rockies and you tell me that Shohei and Mookie aren't playing, I expect them to lose. And basketball just doesn't live in that world, and that is why that product drives me absolutely bonkers.
Here's also why it's great. I've said this so many times over the last 14 years. The last dude on the bench is so much better than you even remotely realize.
I agree. Like
the difference is consistency. That is the difference between don't get me wrong, there's certainly talent differences when you're talking about like all-time greats. When you're talking about LeBrons and Giannis's and Jokic's, those guys are all... Talent is overwhelming. Physical profile is overwhelming. But those dudes that are in roster spot 14, 15, or they're on a two-way, they are so unbelievably good. You have no idea how good these guys are at basketball. But the sliding scale between after you get past superstar and like high-level star, the once-a-time all-star, all the way down to the end of the bench, the difference is consistency.
Right.
That's where, because anybody's capable. Like, we brought this up on the show last night. Jeff, do you remember Yogi Ferrell with the Dallas Mavericks scoring 30?
Yeah. He was a much shorter-lived Jeremy Lin.
But yes, he got an actual NBA deal because he went out there and cooked Portland for 30 in a Mavs win.
Yep.
And that was like, he stayed in the league for like 4 years off of that. And that's the thing is like, for Nick Smith Jr., he's a guy who's talented, but what you saw from him last night was his best game as a pro.
I remember looking up and being like, we just got cooked by Rui Hachimura.
Whoa. GU legend Rui Hachimura.
Yeah, anyway. Rui Hachimura, DeAndre Ayton, and
God in
some
Spokane
dude named Nick Smith Jr.
Yeah.
Well, and that's what I mean. Like, you're totally right, Danny. I don't disagree that these players are.
But it is frustrating.
But it from a product standpoint, it's brutal, dude.
See, this is where I know I'm a sicko. I did not enjoy that game. That game was ugly. But if you're and I don't want to give this to Lakers fans because it's gross, but Lakers fans right now, they are sitting there like, that's one of the coolest games I've ever seen. I saw multiple guys that I know that cover the Lakers.
Why, because their garbage players had good games?
It's because you don't...
Against the defensive stud team who could not play a lick of defense?
And it's just, there's something to that. There's something I'm going to use a really corny word. There's something beautiful
Mm-hmm.
in that. Now, for me, watching it and covering this Trailblazers team, I'm like, oh, this sucks and blows at the same time. This is terrible. I do not enjoy this.
And I that's what I think makes it tough. It's like if Drew goes out there and has a bad night, he had a bad night shooting last night, okay? If he goes out there and has a bad night, you're like, okay. But when Drew has a bad night and Shaden can't hit a three-pointer if his life depended on it, nobody can hit a three-pointer if their life depended.
Two had like 3 rim out, and you're just like, oh, God.
It's just, if you see one guy struggling, you can get past that. But when all of a sudden it becomes contagious, dude, bad basketball, and this is why people crap on us for our love of college basketball. Bad basketball is really brutal to watch. I can watch Rockies Marlins. I can watch Jacksonville Vegas in the NFL. You know, sometimes because like you said, they're still professionals.
Yes.
They're still very, very good. But there's something about the design, the fundamental play of basketball that when it's bad, it is very hard to watch.
It's a beautiful game. It's soccer. Soccer is the
Bad
same way.
soccer
Bad
is
soccer is brutal to watch because the pace, the movement, everything becomes disjointed. If somebody's pitching bad or quarterback's not on target, everybody else is still moving. Everybody else is still doing what they need to do. Like the game looks okay. With basketball and soccer, because of the fluidity of the game, when it's bad, it looks really bad when it starts turning clunky. I must have used the word clunky 15 or 20 times in the postgame show last night because that's what that game was. It was clunky on both ends of the floor.
I was not lying when I texted you. I turned it off.
Oh yeah, no,
I was enjoying Cardinals Cowboys more last night.
And that's tough.
Well, Troy Aikman bailed me out on
There
that.
you go.
He was just chef kiss.
And I think the ultimate question out of this, and I think it's the most pertinent question, is the one Joe asked. Is this an aberration? Is this an aberration game? Or, because I was talking to a scout who was sitting next to me during the game, and we were texting back and forth after the game. He's like, do you think that they just played down to him? And I was like, there's probably an element of that. But I also think because the rotations changed, because there's some inconsistencies. Like these guys.
We could talk about Tiago and his lineup choices all day, too, if you want, because I wasn't a fan. Not going to tell you Tiago's not the guy. I don't mean that, but was not a fan of a lot of the matchups out there.
Again, this is stuff that you're trying to figure out, right? Because you don't. Here, think about this real quick. You don't have Dame for the season. You don't have Blake, Tease, or Scoot probably until Christmas.
Well, I know where you're going with that. Listen to the boys in the morning, and they were talking about the same thing. It's depth.
But the problem is, they had depth. Now they don't in the backcourt
at all.
I mean, again, you are probably missing these guys. I mean, Blake's probably going to have surgery on his foot.
That sucks.
It's with where it's at.
That sucks.
It's one of those things where if you try to let it heal, it might. But if it doesn't, you know what you have to do then? Surgery. So you might as well just do the surgery and get it over with and go, and here's the thing, that's a 4 to 6 week recovery, but that's the recovery from the surgery and it's starting to ramp up. He's not going to just come back, so he's got to ramp back up. Scoot's got to ramp up from the hamstring. Thankfully, Tease is a thumb, so he can still stay moving.
He can't shoot anyway.
Well, no, he's been shooting the crap out of
just
no,
teasing. Don't get fired up.
No, I'm with you. Tease, career-wise, before he got to Portland, couldn't shoot. Ever since he came back, he can't miss. Yeah, it's really weird.
Matisse Thybulle's been a great addition. If you don't have him out there, you definitely miss it. And a lot of it goes back to kind of just our normal stuff. It's like we don't know where the offense is going to come from. And if Drew and Shaden and Denny was okay last night, but it's not an okay shooting night. It's an okay play creation night, but it's not a great okay shooting night. So if Drew's not shooting well, Shaden's not shooting well, Denny's not shooting well, Donovan is MIA, there's nobody that's going to pick you up because Jeremy shot fine.
Yeah.
Jeremy was fine last night.
I thought Jeremy and Denny were both really good.
And Jeremy is probably going to be the most consistent player on the team next to maybe Drew Holiday. Maybe not offensively from Drew, but as a complete pair, as a complete package, Jeremy might be your most consistent. You know what you're going to get defensively, what you're going to get offensively from night to night, and that's the problem of just how the team is built.
And from a
two guys can't have a bad shooting night, otherwise it's over.
And that's the thing is, and give JJ Redick and the Lakers credit because they went to a zone, the same thing the Warriors did, but they did.
I will not give JJ Redick credit.
And you know what they did? They sagged off everything. They sagged off the weak side. They gapped everything and said, "We're not going to let you get to the middle of the floor. We're going to let you shoot threes until you prove you can hit them." And a couple teams have already started doing that. With now 7 games, when we get to 10 games and the film starts building on Portland, expect to see what the Lakers did become the norm.
And real quick on Tiago, and we'll get out of here because we're way up against it. I am excited to see how this team responds on Wednesday. What is it, tomorrow? Today's Tuesday? Respond tomorrow against the OKC. And I know we've talked at length. Well, I think I heard the show this morning talk about it, that, back-to-backs, the next 4 opponents are all in back-to-backs for the Blazers. And I had that in my notes from last night, too. So that's kind of hard to really have a litmus test. But I thought Tiago was cool calling people out. And
that is
not just Caleb Love.
That is a new coach thing.
Yeah, but also,
every new coach does this, and then they go, maybe I shouldn't use names.
But yeah, take the names out of it.
Yeah.
But saying like there just wasn't enough defensive intensity.
Yep.
I like that. And I
Yep.
want to see how they respond to Tiago in that way.
No, for sure. I'm 100% there with you. And again, I think the question you're asking is this game an aberration, or is this something that's going to rear its ugly head more frequently?
Tune in tomorrow night. Tune in tomorrow
Yeah, because if you don't show up against Oklahoma City, it'll be a lot worse than that.
And they'll be on a back-to-back. I don't know if they'll sit guys. They probably won't because they're pretty young still.
Not like that, they're deep.
They're deep.
Yeah.
Well, they're champs for a reason.
Yep. It happens.